Welcome in, everyone. This video is specifically for everybody in Stock Hub more. This is going to be a public free video though, just for those that may be interested in joining Stock Hub. This isn't a formal guide. I know I've had some requests this week for a Gamma GEX video. So we're just going to kind of go over the week and what we saw and kind of touch on some stuff there and see what stuck out there. So let's kind of get started here. This isn't going to be a formal learning guide. Again, we're just going to kind of break it down just so people can kind of see a little bit what's going on here. So for those in Discord that are kind of wanting to learn this is going to help you a lot. So I do two updates. We're going to do an update pre-market, and then we do one at open, because Gamma will change twice in the pre-market and at open. So 24th, and this is going to give a good example at the end. So we can see there was a big drop in that net GEX here from the day. So anything above or below this line here, or above this line, so this is going to be positive gamma exposure, this is negative gamma exposure. So what I'm looking for are these drops or increases. So like right here, you can see we had a low here of 3 million, starting to slowly increase here. So that was kind of looking good for maybe a small pop and SPY. Again, this is just one tool, just another data point to use essentially. So 221, you can see a pretty significant drop there in that net GEX. So you can see that over here as well. So you're below that line. And that exposure in pre-market. So your exposure, obviously you're seeing exposure on SPY to the upside and to the downside. Again, here's your middle, your spot price. You see an exposure here on like the 595, 600s, and that's just your strike. So again, like this is kind of mixed exposure here. So now again at open, now pay attention to that minus 141 million, and I will update here. So you can see we had that daily gamma drop more now. So we saw even another significant decline there. And total volume, so this is your intraday volume. Obviously, little kind of bullish here at open. So again, you can see it's kind of bullish here, slightly bullish. Nothing super, I almost consider this mixed, but that is your pre-market. Now I kind of want to come down here a little bit more. So your 25th now. So your 25th, again, pre-market. We can see another drop here from the 25th. So you're seeing more of that bearish sentiment there. Again, now this is a little easier to read on this exposure. So your left side here obviously is going to be your bearishness. This is your bullishness. And again, here is your 595 really being hit there. So you see that there. And also, actually, I will post this at the end if you want a breakdown of everything too. So again, at open, again, you can see we had another decrease there. So that net GEX decreased again, and that total, and so the exposure here again, exposure is bearish, and starting to see some of that total volume be bearish as well too. So again, you're seeing two declines. You can kind of see where that's happening there. And I don't want to spend 1,000 hours on this. I just kind of want to get to the end here, and you'll be able to get a better view. So we're going to go look at the 28th, because the 28th is a really good day. So pre-market, obviously 227, big drop from Thursdays into Fridays net gamma. So I'll show everybody too in another at the end here. So again, you can see, I mean, you're trending down. This is essentially bearish. Now, the important thing is here kind of, and I'll pull that up on the next part. This is what I want to talk about. Seems like we're kind of hitting a bottom here. Like we don't tend to drop much more from this point. So again, and looking at this pre-market exposure is, I mean, this is bearish exposure. Easily you can see this is bearish exposure. So now at open again, we did see another drop. So this is when you start seeing, okay, we're dropping from that pre-market level. You can think, okay, well, maybe we're going to see some bearishness. So again, dropping, you can see that big drop there again, obviously. And your total volume and exposure was all bearish here at open. So now there's some tricks when people are looking at that volume. So this will change second to second during the day. So if you don't have unusual whales, I don't suggest just buying puts or calls just based off a pre-market and at open update, just because this is changing drastically intraday. So what I wanted to show, like when you look at this, so and I'm going to pop this info tab open at the end, pause the video, read it over too, just it helps you learn. I'm going to obviously have a full breakdown on gamma here, but I just kind of wanted to go over for some of those that wanted to see that intra-week little movement there, just kind of how we saw the week kind of playing out. So again, when you look at this, so it's always important to look at historical data. We're obviously at minus 4.5 million. Now just historically kind of moving back here. You don't see it get that much lower, so I did point, and I want to point that out too. We'll come back to Discord here, but you don't primarily see it get much lower than this. So in the back thought of my head, I'm thinking, okay, daily gamma decreased again. Typically, we don't see much more of a drop from this level. Key area to watch. And again, we had some downside movement in the morning, and then we actually rallied into close. So again, that kind of helps you anticipate. I mean, it's not a 100% guarantee for gamma. It's just another tool I like to use. But this should kind of give everybody a kind of starting brief point. So it's essentially just kind of a SparkNotes version here. When I'm looking at the daily gamma, like now for SPY, like you can see, we'll come back here to 1031. You can see it's starting to kind of trend up. So you're improving essentially towards that, call it the mid break-even point, whatever you want to call it. So you're looking for kind of trends, essentially. You're trying to catch trends. So like here back in January of this year, you can see obviously we had some big drops here and then kind of bottom out. We're improving, and then you can see that SPY price going up there. So again, here, improvement each time. Seeing kind of little bounces in SPY. So keep that in mind when you're watching that. So now I'm going to assume going into Monday we might see a small little pullback, and then that's when you start seeing that kind of trend. So you're kind of trying to catch those trends with this too. So I do want to pop this open at the end here. Feel free to pause the video, read this over. It's kind of explains a little bit more what gamma is. I'll have a full breakdown on this section here. I just kind of wanted to get this out just because I know some people were asking about it. But all right, everyone. Look forward to talking to everybody this week.